Now look at this monster, WolfBox. Drive on, always on. It's a jump starter with air compressor. I really like these jump starter air compressor combos because, you know, if you're going to have a giant battery pack, it might as well also be able to inflate your tires. This one's the 3000 amp version that goes up to 160 psi, and I know they have a 4000 amp version too, which I think is basically just the same thing with a little bit higher capacity. And you know, I don't know who actually tests out these things at 160 psi, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to inflate it to a normal like tire pressure, right? So this is the Megavolt16 Air. It's got 59.2 watt hours of capacity. Oh, check this out. The USB-C actually is capable of PD65. So you could actually do some fast charging with this thing. That's kind of awesome. Your USB-A out is just a basic, you know, 1.5 ampere. And then it's got a DC out that'll go from 14 to 16 volts. Pretty nice. Let's get this thing open, see what she looks like. Comes in a nice carrying case. That's cool. Unzip it here. Of course, here we have our clamps, and then also the little air compressor tube. That looks like a pretty decent length. What's that, like 16 inches or something like that? Comes with a charging cable, some little inflation accessories. We'll take a quick look at the user's manual, see if there's anything we need in here. Here you go, you can take a look at the specifications. Pause that if you need to. You know, one thing I didn't see in the manual was how to put this thing into like a boost mode or a force start mode. That's actually kind of a negative if I can't figure that out, because I feel like all jump start packs should have like that boost mode, because sometimes you just gotta bypass the safeties and let the thing give it full chooch. Well, let's get this thing out of its condom here and we'll take a good look at it. Man, this thing is a chunkster, isn't it? Well, we got like 9 1/4 by 5 1/2 by like 2 1/4. And move this out of the way and we'll take a quick weight measurement. She comes in at 3 pounds, 1.8 ounces. And I guess we should probably pile on the accessories. And with accessories, 3 pounds, 14.6 ounces. Of course, over here is where your jumper cable clamps go in. I can see like a little fan down inside there, or maybe that's the air pump. Here on the front of the device, that's where you connect the air hose. That just screws in there like that. And you know, it does have this DC out, which is really great for powering accessories, although unfortunately, I didn't see in the box, you know, a lot of times they come with like a little, almost like a cigarette lighter plug adapter type thing, so you can plug in 12 volt accessories. That would have been nice if they included that, like some of the other ones do. But of course you can buy those pretty cheap. And then inside this little flap is going to be your charging ports. Let's see if we can power it on. Oh man, it's like really low. I'm going to have to charge this thing up before I can do anything with it, I guess. Let's see if we can hit the light. Held it down for a second and the light came on. It's a very bluish light, isn't it? And it gives like a good coverage. I don't know that it's like super bright or anything, but it does have good coverage. You hit it again and it gives you like a strobe. And then hit it again and it gives you like an SOS, and then one more time and it's off. Okay, so here you hit this button here, you cycle through your different air compressor modes, and of course you can set each one of these to be like whatever you want, and I guess this is just like a user defined one. Let's turn the car down to like 32 and power the thing off, and we'll see that whenever we power it back on, if it actually remembered that. No, powering it back on, it defaulted back to 36. That's a little annoying. Let me scoot over to the user-defined one. Maybe this user-defined one, if we set it, it'll remember. All right, we're gonna set that at 32, and then we'll power the thing back off. Powering back on, and we'll switch back over to the user mode. Okay, the user mode actually remembers what you set it to. The other ones are defaults. I kind of wish you could set each one individually as a default, because you know sometimes you have like different air pressures front and rear. This button right here just changes between different pressure measurements. Just leave it on PSI because that's what we use in America. Now if we were to turn the pump on, you just hit the power button and it starts going. I wonder what happens if you hold down the power button. Okay, of course it just goes off. Let's see what happens when we hold down the mode button, see if that does anything. No, holding down the mode button doesn't do anything. What happens if we hold down both plus and minus at the same time? That doesn't do anything. Hold down PSI. That doesn't do anything. Huh, okay. Well, I don't know if there's any secret modes in this guy. If any of you guys have figured out any secret modes, let me know. I really would like to figure out how to put it into force start. Well, let me get this thing all charged up so we can test it accurately. All right, I got it plugged in and it just says in. It's not actually saying that it's charging fast or anything like that. And this is connected to a fast charger, so I don't know. I got it plugged into a more serious charger here, and it's obviously got a little fast charge icon and it's going a lot faster now. So notice on the little clamp thingy here that this is where the boost button is at. Now we're going to try out the jump pack on my tractor here. This battery is completely flat and it's a little diesel motor, so you know it takes a little bit to crank it over. The way they positioned this here is kind of funny. You actually have to hold the little rubber flap down in order to see if you got your clamps connected correctly or not. But you can see it's got two little LEDs on there, one for connected correctly and the other one if it's accidentally reversed. So that's a nice little indication. But yeah, but it's just silly that you have to hold the little rubber flap where you plug it in at in order to see that LED. Now we'll see if it'll crank over without boosting, but a lot of times this thing needs the boost. Yeah, that's not doing anything. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's just clicking. All right, I hit the boost button. We'll see what happens. All right, that did the trick. Yeah, this battery's like resting voltage is something like 9 volts, so it's completely dead. It really does have to have that boost feature whenever the battery is that dead. I'm glad I found that on this little guy over here. Otherwise, like, this thing would be kind of useless. These jump start packs always have too many like safeties inside of them, and you got to be able to do the force start or boost or whatever the particular company calls it in order to turn over batteries that are completely dead. But yeah, good job, WolfBox. All right, we're gonna connect it up to the 500 barth here. It's been sitting out here neglected. Now these clamps are pretty beefy, but these leads are really short. I wish the leads were a little bit longer or something. I'm gonna check the little light, make sure it's connected. Yep, it says it's connected. All right, I don't expect this thing to actually need the boost, but we're gonna try it and see. All right, fired right up. Yeah, that thing cranked it over pretty fast. Good job. All right, let's see if we get a killer thumbnail here. All right, I should point out that I did have it all charged up before I tried jump starting both the tractor and the little A-barth. And according to this, it didn't even move the needle at all on the little battery. And you know, I should hope not, because this thing is a pretty hefty one. But now we're gonna try out the air pump, and I'm gonna do it on this old crusty Fiat tire. It's a 165, I think 70 R13, so not a huge tire, but it is old and leaky, so it's gonna be like a good little torture test for this thing. This just clamps on like that. I think you should probably turn the PSI down to 30 and let's get it going. And I'll have a little timer running so we can see how long it actually takes. I'm just checking to see if there's air coming out around here. This is definitely an airport right here. I can feel air being moved. I can't tell if it's sucking in or blowing out right there. But it's got another port on this side too. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep these ones clear. Don't let them suck up any debris or get trapped with stuff. All right, so I don't know if it took a short amount of time or a long amount of time. You know, we have to see the clock and compare it to other little portable air compressors. I've reviewed plenty of those, so you can go check the times against those. And yeah, and you can see how leaky this tire is. Like, it already went down to 27. But yeah, I think this thing is a win. And definitely check the description for a link on where to get one for yourself. Even though this is a pretty hefty boy, I think I'm gonna recommend this one. Yeah, good job, WolfBox. Thanks for watching. Oh, and I should also point out that this thing actually doesn't feel hot at all. You know, the hose for the air compressor, it definitely feels warm up here. And you definitely don't want to, well, yeah, that's hot. This little guy right here is hot. Even the plastic is hot. And like normally these guys have like a real thick rubber thing to keep you from burning yourself, because the little metal bits in here, they just get screaming hot on these guys. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty normal. I don't think you can get away from that, because a small little air compressor is definitely going to create a lot of heat. But the body of this thing feels nice and cool. A little bit of warmth on this side, nothing on this side. Yeah, good to go.